Hey there everyone, Video Game Cabinet here, and tonight we are back with a review of Knack for PS4. Knack was a launch title for PlayStation 4 back in late 2013, and was one of the many failed attempts at creating a mascot platformer to represent the PlayStation brand before Sony eventually found success with the marvelous Astrobot many years later. Knack received mixed reviews from critics upon release, but I wanted to play it for myself and see how I felt about the game's quality or lack thereof. After spending the last week playing through Knack to the end credits on easy mode, I can say that I personally did not like this game. I rather loathed it, in fact. Knack himself is an amalgamation of ancient artifacts held together by a gravity or electricity of some kind to form a jumping fighting unit. I think he looks stupid and is probably the lamest mascot in any platformer I have ever played. His voice also does not fit his appearance at all. The story follows a group of scientists using Knack to defend themselves against an invading race of orcs while searching for more ancient relics that Knack is derived from. It all feels reminiscent of an old Saturday morning cartoon, but one that you don't remember because it was so generic and forgettable. The characters are also quite ugly. Once you have played the first 15 minutes of Knack, you have pretty much seen what the next 10 hours are going to be like. The levels are exceedingly linear, with the occasional breakable wall to find secret keepsakes and energy refills. You will be doing some jumping over obstacles, but the focus is more on brawling with the enemies. Knack will throw a 3-punch combination when the timing is right, but he can also unleash one of 3 different super moves after collecting enough yellow sunstones. This all gets old really fast. The fighting quickly becomes stale and repetitive, with all the encounters feeling the same, and the levels feel like they go on forever. Knack grows bigger when he collects more artifact pieces and can even outfit himself with different materials such as wood, ice, and metal. These upgrades and increases in size do just about nothing to mix up the gameplay. You simply hit harder while battling bigger foes, and that's pretty much it. You might run into a small passage that requires you to shrink down or use one of the materials to pass through, but that is all. Knack's gameplay is utterly rudimentary, and running through hallway after hallway while using the same simple moves in fight after fight is woefully tedious. I found Knack to be a decidedly banal and lackluster experience, to the point of me not having much enjoyment with it at all. On the bright side, Knack's controls feel tight and responsive with the ability to dash and double jump. The backdrops throughout the levels are colorful, and the overall package is polished with no bugs or glitches in sight. But the gameplay itself has almost no variety and is just plain boring. The title character is also downright unlikable. I am rating Knack a 3 out of 10. This game sucks. And that is my review. I'm sorry, I know that I went a bit hard on this game, but I just want to mention how I actually heard about this game. About 10 years ago, my wife and I were living with a roommate, and our roommate and my wife were playing this game and liking it. And I think at the time I was playing Dark Souls and the first Last of Us, and I just saw our roommate playing Knack, and I thought it looked stupid. I had never heard of the game before, and you know, I was kind of making fun of him for playing that, and he was making fun of me for like only playing serious games like Dark Souls and Last of Us. But finally now, 10 years later, I wanted to finally play through it and see what I thought of it, honestly, and give it a full shot, and give it a bad review if I thought it deserved it. And yeah, I personally did not like the game. I know it has its fans. My wife and our old friends do like the game. Perhaps my wife will write her own review in contrast to mine. We'll see. that would be great to get some other opinions on it and some of the other games I'm doing. But we'll see. Yeah, for now, I don't like this game. Video Game Cabinet is giving Knack a 3 out of 10. I also want to mention, as I was playing the game, I was trying to research a bit about it, and I didn't realize, yeah, it was a launch title for the PlayStation 4. I believe it was getting hype. You know, this and several other games have tried to stick as a mascot platformer to represent Sony, kind of like Mario does with Nintendo and Sonic did with Sega. But nothing ever worked out for them too well until, like I said, Astro Bot, that came out recently, and that game was wonderful, marvelous. I rated that one a 9 out of 10. Yeah, that Astro Bot is a really great game to represent Sony's brand. But 10 years ago, I think Knack was 10 or 11 or 12 years ago. Knack was trying to do it for PlayStation 4, and it just, I think a lot of people picked on this game because it did get mixed reviews when it came out. I was actually watching this one video on YouTube today called Knack, the most bullied game of all time by W00FA. You know, what they were saying about the game was interesting to me, and they said in the game, and I agree, that it's not a total piece of shit like Ride to Hell Retribution. They named that game as an example. But I still think this game sucked. You know, Ride to Hell Retribution, I played that game several months back, and that game I gave a 1 out of 10. Yeah, Knack isn't, you know, quite, you know, as bad as Superman or Ride to Hell Retribution, but I still thought it sucked. I still thought the character is really stupid. I still thought the game was just boring, and, you know, the graphics, like the character, human character models are ugly, but like the backgrounds look nice. It's a colorful game, you know. I could almost see how it would appeal, you know, to some people, especially like really young gamers. But oh, and that's another thing. Like, I played it on easy mode. I tried on normal, and it gets really frustrating, and it's not the type of hard game that I would want to go through. I just, like I said, I found it boring, you know, and I just wanted to get through it. And even on easy mode, it can get a bit frustrating with some of the enemies. And, you know, you just throw that 3-hit hand combo, and you have a couple of super moves when you collect enough yellow stones. And I don't know, the gameplay is just so rudimentary, just so simple. And it's just a very, very forgettable game, you know, to the point where, you know, I know a lot of other people have crapped on this game, so like I'm crapping on it more, like, you know, but there are some people that enjoy it, I guess. I don't know. But I really did not like this game at all. And really the moment I saw my friend playing it 10 years ago, I really knew and thought that game, I was not going to like this game if I sat down and played through it. But I did. I got all the way to the end credits, and yeah, I can say now that I really legitimately think this game sucks. Sorry. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. I'm rating Knack a 3 out of 10. I don't like it. And that is my review. Have a good night.